Well, Sarah and I are now going to make pumpkin bread pudding, which is one of our favorites. But we have to start with the topping because this is something I love called dulce de leche.
Right, and this is...
It means sweet of milk?
I guess it does.
Yeah. The sweetness of milk. Now, in Mexico and in other parts of South America, they just put the can of
sweetened condensed milk in a pot of water.
And they boil it slowly.
For like an hour and a half. Clicking. But this way is a little less scary, I guess. We take 6 cups of milk, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 cups of sugar.
Okay.
Bring it to a simmer and add some baking soda,
Ooh,
3/4 of a teaspoon. It might bubble up when you do that. It's a little bit of a chemical reaction. Just stir that in.
So what does the baking soda do?
Well, what happens is after it cooks, it makes it so it doesn't harden up like a caramel. So it's still a pourable consistency.
So it's like adding cornstarch, but probably better.
Right. So. Then basically what you do is after it comes to a simmer and you add the baking soda, you just cook it, stirring occasionally.
Now, could we use a crock pot for this?
You know, you probably could, but I never have. That would probably take all day, but
the uses for crock pots.
Well, they're extremely useful, actually.
They are, because overnight you could just make this and it would get real thick.
Right, you don't have to think about it.
But this is how many hours?
About an hour, maybe.
Oh, really?
It can take anywhere from 45 minutes at a simmer to an hour and 15 minutes.
But you can't go shopping. You can't really leave
No.
your
You don't
house.
want to leave. You definitely don't want to leave the house.
No.
Because, I mean, this could scorch. You definitely want to stir it, skim it as it's cooking, and then
don't go to the laundry and get involved with the ironing machine. See, that's what
the ironing machine.
I always do. I go down there and then I start cleaning. I start cleaning the kitty litters, and then I forget. Oh, it's horrible.
Well, so don't do any of those things. But when it's done, you can strain it and then you cool it. And as you can see, it's already quite thick, and it'll thicken up more as it cools.
Oh, and it does have some little things.
Yeah, and there are little bits. You're going to skim it during cooking, but this will definitely take out any last bits.
Okay, there.
Okay, so that's that. Now, we're going to make a custard. It's the base is pumpkin. It's a can of pumpkin. We're just going to whisk all these things in here.
So the 15 ounces.
The 15 ounces, cup of milk.
Oh, you want to add the eggs first?
Yep,
Yeah,
2 eggs. They'll definitely whisk in better if you add them before you add your milk, as
Right.
Martha pointed out. Okay, now we can add a cup of milk.
Before the sugar?
All right, add the sugar.
I'm doing it my way.
Do it your way. You add what you want.
Quarter cup of light
sugar.
brown sugar.
Now what?
Then I'm going to add my spices.
She's smart.
Half
She's right.
Half a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Half a cup.
half a teaspoon of aniseed.
Yeah,
so
that
that's
adds a really nice flavor.
That's nice. Half a teaspoon of salt. Now we can add our wet ingredients. I think we'll add the heavy cream first. A half a cup. There's no real, you can do it anyway.
No, but you're right. It will mix in better if you add the dry ingredients to the pumpkin first.
So smooth, like a puree.
And then a cup of milk.
A cup of milk.
That's it. That's your custard.
Yes.
This is what's going to set your...
Not,
oh my gosh.
We have
One
vanilla. 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla.
I'm a little distracted today. Okay, we have 10 ounces of...
And she should be. Because yesterday, Sarah was named editor-in-chief of our wonderful magazine, Everyday Food. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
We're very excited.
Yes. So here we have 10 ounces of day-old bread. We cut them into pieces, but you can make them into slices if you want. This is brioche. Hollow works really well. Sourdough bread would even work. We can just put it into our 2-quart baking dish.
Okay, so all the bread? Oh, you don't mix it in there?
You can, but I think that it works nicer if you just pour it over the top for this particular one. Just even it out and then pour it over the top. You know.
And see, the crusts are still on. You do not have to remove the crusts.
It adds a nice texture,
I like
find.
it. No, I like different textures in my bread pudding.
And
the nuts?
Yep, on the top at the end. Okay. If you find that it's like a little dry and it's not completely coating, you can turn them over.
Okay.
So those are pecans that are toasted.
But can I put that on? Can I leave one half?
Yeah, I know. You don't like nuts on everything, do you?
I don't. Half of it for the people who like nuts, and the other half
which are a lot of people.
For me.
Martha doesn't like nuts. She doesn't like
nuts
in things.
Yeah, I like going to the pecan grove and eating a pecan.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You want to make sure that your nuts are not rancid, which is a problem I think that people find. So make sure you smell them and taste them before you...
Look at this. Oh, and bake for how long? In what oven?
350 for about 45 minutes until it's set. If you want to serve that, I have something that I need to get over here.
Okay, so here.
Also turn this oven off.
Look how beautiful this bread pudding is. Now this is, and it's light, you know, it's puffy.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah,
and it's got those great flavors in there.
Very beautiful. Oh, yummy. Now, anybody would really love to sit down to a plate of this with the lovely dulce de leche over the top.